Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video. And it seems that Le'Veon Bell has some beef with Andy Reid. As he goes on to state that he'll never play for Andy Reid again and that he'd rather retire. He mentioned that via Instagram apparently. And so blasting his former head coach with the Kansas City Chiefs due to his limited role in Kansas City. So first things that come to mind when I read that is one, let's just go ahead and take and go first and remember the person who, the football player Le'Veon Bell, what he was prior to his holdout with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coming out of Michigan State, the way that he utilized his blockers, essentially with that delayed step. And then, it was a very unique style of running. And then he was a very good dual threat running back as well. Great hands at the backfield, utilizes his blocking well. So basically, was an all around great running back. And for Pittsburgh, many years, they were one of the teams that was being discussed for, the championship with him, Antonio Brown, Big Ben. But then something happened at some point. Like things started to change. It started to become more about the individual than the team. And so due to that, he held out for his money, right or wrong. I mean, he made the decision that he felt was best for him. And so, certainly can't, bash him for wanting to get paid more and try to increase the market for future running backs to come. But that being said, though, when you follow the money and you're a running back, that probably means you're going to be headed to a poor team. And that's exactly what happened when he went to the Jets and joined forces with Adam Gase. And man, I mean, it was bad. It was bad last year. I mean, he was just there for basically two starts, I believe. And then he ended up well, they basically let him go because he obviously wasn't happy with the Jets at that time. And so he had some teams to consider from. I believe it came down to the Dolphins and the Chiefs for him. And obviously he was thinking about trying to get that ring, that ever elusive ring. And so he made the decision to go to the Chiefs, and there, splitting carries with, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and, and with Clyde being a rookie, so quite sure Le'Veon Bell's like, okay, there'll be a 1-2 punch or he'll compliment them vice versa. I'm sure they told him some stuff like that. But obviously things didn't go according to plan and he didn't get I guess as much of a role as he anticipated. Now, in terms of the Le'Veon Bell, is he still the same Le'Veon that he was prior to the holdout? We haven't seen it. I don't know. As it potentially could be, but it's been a while since we've seen him put together a complete season, especially since that holdout. So that doesn't bode well. But yeah, obviously, the fact that he said he's never going to play for Andy Reid again, that closes the door for the Kansas City Chiefs right then and there in terms of bringing him back. And just looking across the board, I was trying to think, what would be a great scenario for him to go to. And at least, obviously at this point, I don't think there's any starting positions available. But in terms of just getting more usage, a lot of teams already have a crowded backfield. I mean, even if he went to Miami, they did bring on Malcolm Brown as well, so he'll get some goal line snaps. In addition to what they've already got there. Buffalo, they've already got a couple running backs there. I don't know where he'd fit in that pecking order. So he'd have to wait and see how injuries play out first, I believe, in order for an opportunity. But man, I mean, that's a bold statement. I mean, Andy Reid has been a coach who, from what I've seen, players love playing for Andy Reid. Even Terrell Owens, you look at his career. I mean, one of his favorite coaches, I believe, that he's played for has been Andy Reid. The reason why that situation didn't work out is because Terrell wanted his money. He played through an injury in the Super Bowl, went out there, sacrificed himself for the team. So he wanted his money, in that situation, but that's an entirely different situation. But in terms of him with Andy Reid, there was no beef there. He has respect for Andy Reid, from what I've, basically read and stuff. But yeah, so this is a little different here. Le'Veon, is not happy with the Chiefs, wasn't happy with the Jets. There's only been so many teams in the NFL before at some point they just say, like that's basically it. And so we'll see if he's able to land an opportunity somewhere that he'll be able to get a high usage rate. But for right now, it's just he's gonna have to wait a minute and see how things play out because obviously we all see running backs go down and stuff. And right now, if you're looking at other running backs, I mean, you're looking at running backs in the market like Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, and all like that, and which obviously those are tremendous running backs if you're looking at their careers and historically, but they're a little up there in age, and so Le'Veon presents an interesting option, and it'll just have to be the right situation for Le'Veon to be able to go out there and and utilize all of his skill sets that he still has. He's still a great, back that can catch the ball out the backfield. I'm sure he can still, still got some mileage left in him. It's just a matter of him being in the right situation that's going to be best for him. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Who knows? Maybe a reunion in Pittsburgh might actually make some sense now. But we'll have to see how that works out. But with that being said, to remember his greatness, he has started a total of 81 games in his career, and he's carried the ball for 1,556 times for 6,453 yards rushing and 40 rushing touchdowns. And in addition to that, he also has added on a total of 394 receptions for 3,259 yards and 8 receiving touchdowns. So certainly someone that can improve a running back room by his presence alone. So it's just a matter of him being in the right situation, and whenever that situation presents itself, we'll see how that plays out. So obviously wherever he goes, he's going to be in improvement mode, and so yeah, gonna be looking forward to seeing it. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, as more stuff continues to unfold, you can be sure to find it here. So thanks again for watching, and see you guys next time.